Yep. One second. Okay. So hello everyone. Good morning and good evening. So let's start the session. So last class we were discussing about the unit testing in Angular. So now we just continue the existing setup of this component. Okay. So you already seen this, right? So last class what we discussed is in the product item component dot spec. We discuss how to. Okay, it's been rendered or not, right? Yeah, title has been rendered on HTML or image has been rendered on a screen. So those test cases we have tested, and I have opened this test case. I mean test browser window, so you can see that. And now I'll tell you something new. What is that? Is when I click on a plus symbol, okay, it's supposed to increase the quantity, and so that I have to test through my unit testing of Angular. Okay, so first let me apply the functionality. When I click on the plus symbol, I want to increase the quantity. So what I do is first of all go to HTML, and here for plus I'll say click events. So click is equal to, so click increase quantity. Okay, increase quantity, copy. So go to the components. So public, click increase quantity. So how are you going to increase the quantity is this quantity I want to increase this state. So I say this dot product is equal to an object dot 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 this this dot product comma the quantity I want to increase. Just say qty will be this dot product dot qty plus 1. Okay, just increase no semicolon. Okay, fine. So we are just increasing the quantity of the product. Now let me check. Okay, if I just click on the plus symbol, not working. um how come? Plus circle, click on this, is gonna update. Correct now, what's the problem? I think it's supposed to refresh. Okay, so if I click on the plus symbol, it's getting incremented, right? That's fine. Now let me click on a minus symbol. So back here, go to HTML. I'll just add here. So click events. So let's say click decrease quantity, and just take this function and make it here. Okay, so public. Okay, I just update the same way. Only thing is -1. But -1 means it'll go beyond. I mean, it'll go less than 0 as well. So I just check the condition is greater than 0. Then this dot product dot qty -1. Otherwise 1. Okay. So let's check. Yeah, it's been refreshed. Okay, so click on minus, it decreases. Click on plus, increases, decreases. That's fine. So now I have to uh, test this functionality through my unit test cases. Okay, so click on the plus symbol. So how we apply the click events and all, I'll tell you. So let me go to this spec of this component. So I write a test case should increment the quantity for increment button click. Okay, when you click on the increment button, we have to increase the quantity of the product. So what I do is um, let me get what the plus symbol, because I have to apply the click event, and I have to check the quantity value. So that element also I want two elements, plus symbol elements and the quantity element. So how to get the plus symbol element is plus symbol you can take, you can give an ID like this prod image. Previously we given a prod image and we got that. Or else you can do one thing. You can select by this class also, right? It's a unique class, right? For this one and this one. Okay, you can select by this class also. You get the plus symbol. But how I get the quantity? Yeah, quantity I have a ID. I already taken ID. Yeah, that's fine. So quantity, I'll just get it. Let's say let's qty element is equal to, so debug element dot query in this by dot css. Yeah, by css. So what I have to do is its id hash this one, not that one. uh dot hyphen quantity, this is the one. Okay, you get the quantity elements. Now I need the plus symbol elements. So let's plus symbol, let's say plus symbol, okay, is equal to debug element dot query, same story, query by css. Here you have to provide the class name. So class name means dot, okay, id is hash, you know, right? Here dot this one, so you get the elements. Now so my plan is, the moment I click on a plus symbol, I want to see the incremented quantity value. So how to apply the click event on this element is plus symbol dot trigger event handler. So trigger event handler is the function to apply the click events using unit test cases. Okay, so what is the event, which contains two parameters? One is event name and second is event object, the event object itself. Okay, so event name, what is the event we are making? Click event. Okay, so when you have a form submission like submit event, that way just click event. Okay, and also you can receive the event object. I'm not using any event uh, in this. See, I'm receiving the default event here, but I'm not working with anything because it's not a form, right? So I'm not using the event, so independent of event, so we don't need that. This empty object. Okay, then then what we have to do is, once you apply the click events, the quantity and the product quantity should match. The quantity element amount, I mean the number, and the TS file, this quantity should match. So what I do is expect um, component dot product dot qty dot to be qty elements dot native elements dot text content. So its text content should match. Now save it. Go check check this browser. I think it's supposed to refresh. No, yeah, it's getting refresh. You got a failure. Why? So 3 to be 2. When I click on that, it'll become 3, but expecting to be 2. Problem is, yeah, I tell you. Generally, normally here, right? When you click on the plus symbol, it is incremented the value in the background, and you can also detect the changes here automatically, right? But in the uh, in the test cases, when you write test cases, so automatic detection of the changes will not, uh, you can, it can't reflect here. Okay, so what you have to do is, there is something called fixture, fixture dot, same theory, fixture dot detect changes. Okay, this you have to call. So let's make here, after the click event happen, just say fixture dot detect changes. So it detect the changes and then it will verify. Now check, it's supposed to re-render. Okay, it is fine, but problem is 3 to be string 3. String 3. Okay, okay, got it. Actually component dot prod dot quantity is a number. Okay, but text content on the screen is obviously string only, right? So you just, it's correct only 3 and 3. Previously we got 3 2. Just convert a number. Simply you can just say convert to a number, then it will match. Okay, save it now. Check. So let's re-render. Okay, so now successful. It's been incremented successfully. Okay, so that's fine. And next, what we do is same setup. I want to make the decrement the quantity. Decrement. When I click on the minus symbol, I want to decrement the quantity, right? So you can just do a copy this, paste it. It should decrement the quantity. When I click on the decrement button, only thing you have to change is the minus symbol. For minus symbol, I have a class called minus symbol. Copy and I'll paste it here. This will be minus symbol. Okay, this minus symbol you're supposed to keep here, and it will detect changes. And if you reduce in the quantity, that will reflect on the quantity element. Same way, just like plus. Okay, so you can check now. It should re-render. Okay, so I got everything success. That's fine. Okay, and one last test I'll do is total. So what is the total you written the logic is what logic I written? This one, prod price into product quantity. I want to check, is it that same or not? Is it getting the same value from the component and this has been um, displayed or not? Okay, so for this you need to get something called ID. Let's make an ID here. Let's say prod hyphen total, product total. Let me copy. So I write here something new. So sorry, it should render, it should render the uh, it should render the total. It should render the total. So let's say total element. So let total elements is equal to debug element dot query. I just say by dot css. So I need to provide here the ID, this one, pro total. Okay, and what will the value of it will be? Product dot quantity into price will be. So expect component uh, dot prod dot qty into prod sorry, component dot products dot price. So dot to be equal to but it's string, no, you can convert to number. So number of total elements dot native elements dot text content, just like the previous text content. That's it. Now check. Okay, so that's fine. Test cases succeeded. Fine. So we are done with this. Let me tell you one last testing, that is using services. Okay, so services, how you test. So let me create a separate a component. So I go to terminal. I go to the app, cd space app, no src. So src folder. So cd space app, cd space components. Actually, you can do right click on components. I made some long story. Yeah, they say ngGC users one component, users the list of users, one component, and along with this, yeah, I got users. In users, I want to create one service to fetch user data from server. So how you create a service is, let me go to the users directly. Why services separate folder? I make directly the users component. I'll say nggs user service. Okay, so service has been created. I'm not writing any test cases for my component. Only service I'm writing a test cases. Let me write something in a service, and for every service also you have a spec. Okay, so let me write the test cases for this service. First, let me bind the users component on HTML app. Let's add somewhere here app user users. Okay, so what is my plan here is in user service I have to fetch data from the server. Okay, so to fetch data, I think HTTP client module was there. I guess HTTP client module is declared but not added. Oh, HTTP client module. Okay, it's been there. Now, yeah, user service. Let me inject. So private HTTP client of type HTTP client. Okay, here I'll make a method to get all the users. So simply I use one. Okay, this is anyway. This is not this is okay. No issue. Just empty. So I'll go to, there is a website, right? Placeholder something. There's a placeholder. So JSON placeholder.com. If you go there, there are few REST APIs. So I just grab one for uh, users. Yeah, this is the path, right? This is the path. I get all the list of users. So I make public get all users is a method. So this will return first. Let's data URL of type string is equal to string. Let me grab it, copy, paste it. Done. Now what we do is call. Before I call, I need to return the type of data, right? What type of data? Let me grab this send as story. Grab this. I create one interface, one model. I create model also here. I user. Let's say export interface. I user. I'll make the setup here. Okay. So what supposed to do is to interface I user and this object to be this. Okay. Here ID will be just take number, remaining all the guys to be string. Okay, let's make this, or you make some semicolon. Okay, what is the issue? I think one more close. Okay, fine. I got it, and I don't need this IDs to be quotes. Let me replace double quotes with nothing. Replace all. Yeah, that's fine. I got the interface for that. Okay, go here. So return what is dot HTTP client dot get request to this data URL dot pipe in this retry of one. Catcher I'm not writing. That's a long story. You have to write all the catcher and all. That's fine. So here I just make an observable of type um, I user array, not there inside I user array. So let's take the same story here. I user array. Okay, so we made a function to fetch all the data. So this particular functionality, I have to test it. So how I test is in my spec. So spec has been declared already. There is a service already declared, and that service, yeah, a very important thing you have to understand is how you inject the service in test cases is testbed. Okay, so testbed dot inject user service. Net is not stable. Okay, actually I lost the power, but still generator is working. I mean this. Okay, let's see. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. So service, you have a service. Yeah. How you get the service get injected is testbed dot inject service. Any service you wanted to inject, you can write like this. So service will be injected, and along with this, I need to inject few other things. One is uh, actually one control required, one test controller required. I think, yeah, let's say let's test controller. Yeah, testing controller will be of type, I think Angular testing, no, no, testing HTTP testing controller. Okay, yeah, this is the one, HTTP testing controller. Using this, we will be testing it. So let's make, so it should return an array of users. Okay, let me mock up some data. How you mock up? Let me do one thing. The whole data, I'll just grab it. I just create some mock-up data inside. I create one normal TypeScript. So mock users. Okay, here I'll say export constant mock users of type I user array is equal to the whole array. Okay, this is your mock-up data to verify. Now what I do is let's user list is equal to mockup users. Okay, this is also of type I user array. Okay, now I need to verify this using the service. So service has been already injected for me. So I can just say service dot get all users dot subscribe. So you write a subscription here only. Subscribe. In this, you will receive the data, and that data I need to verify with my user list or not. So how I do expect data dot to equal, because it's an array. So not to be can be used for string a number. This is an array. So to equal user list. Okay, that way. So save it. Check it out. Uh, I think it's been not binded. No provider for HTTP client. Okay, okay. It's saying no provider for HTTP client. No provider. Mm, okay, let me get the HTTP client. So let HTTP client of type HTTP client. Yeah, HTTP client module may be not injected. This guy. Let me get it. So here HTTP client is equal to testbed dot inject HTTP client. So now HTTP client got injected. So can I test? No. Again, two failure. User service should be created. User service should be created uh, no provider again should return the array of users is failing again. HTTP client is a problem. Actually, somewhere something goes wrong. I'll do one thing. I have a backup. I think somewhere I tested it, man. Yes, same example. HTTP client testing controller. Okay, you write service testbed.inject user service, and before each you get the client as well as testing controller to be injected. Yes, maybe this testing controller has not been injected. It seems testing controller variable has declared, but nowhere it's been injected. Oh, this guy. Testing controller is equal to testbed dot inject uh, http testing controller. Yeah, it's been injected. Is it okay? Here again to failure. Cannot read property get all users of undefined. Undefined. 1 minute. Service dot get all users. Service has been injected, right? Service has come. I do one thing. I think let me just copy the whole setup. I made a mistake. I'm not sure where I made. It's supposed to be this one. Oh, it's not test suppose user. Okay, mock users, I guess. Mockup users. Okay, and this is HTTP client testing module. Oh, you have to configure here. Once again, let me check what happened there. Come on. Again to failure. Actually, this was working for me earlier, but what mistake I made? Maybe no provider for HTTP client. I think we have to check in a deeper way. Um, Way it was no provider for HTTP client. No provider for HTTP client. Expected undefined to be truthy. Undefined. So truthy we are checking here, right? Truthy. So user service. Service has not been created or what? How come it's there now? Maybe I have to use the service in my component. Let's say private user service of type user service. Check it out. It's supposed to work, man. Somewhere something goes wrong. Again. Okay. Null injection error. So it's not getting injected properly. Somewhere, yeah, testbed dot inject. Maybe. Oh. Got it. Problem is no provider is what is this meaning? No provider for HTTP client. So there is no provider configuration. Imports is there. For example, I tell you, this is very important thing. For example, if you go to the app module, na, so app module imports are there, and there are some providers also there. Providers usually you configure the services. Provider means the services you have to configure. Same way here also, when you do the configuration, so this is your testing module, right? So for this testing module, I need to provide some providers. Providers will be an array. Let's say user service has to be injected. Oh, maybe this is the one which is not provided. Okay, user service as well as my HTTP client also I'll provide. Okay, now one failure. Okay, so previously two failure, now one failure. No provider for HTTP client again. So undefined to be truthy. Users component should create. Uh, what is this one? Users component should be. No, no. See, error is here in the users component. Failing is here, not ours. Ours is gone. It seems ours is done. Maybe undefined to be truthy. It says this user component. Users component. Users component. We are not write any. Um, this is users component. No. Okay. So what is this case for that? Users component dot spec. Okay. This is the one. So create test bed should create. Yes, it should create. If you configure app component .html is supposed to be there in app module. Users component is there. It looks correct only, man. Do one thing. User component. I'll just exclude the users component. Now it's coming from users component, not from R. Okay, so now succeeded. Yeah, I given X to exclude this test cases. Okay, but why this is maybe here declarations. Okay, you need to provide that service as well. Mm, okay, to fix is a long story. Yeah, that's it, man. This how you will write test cases and you will test it. Okay, so service or get all users subscribe, and this is yeah something extra I written. What is that is HTTP testing controller dot expect one. Only one request is sending to this path, and one more is expect the method to be get method. Okay, so I'm just testing what type of method it is. Get method and request dot flush. I mean just close the connectivity. Okay, and then verify. So final verification on this API server call. Okay, so this is how you write test cases, and if you want more information then please refer the official documentation of Angular for testing so you understand this. Okay, according to your application logic you have to write a test cases. Okay, so that's all fine, and one more thing is how to make some how to generate the test coverage report. Okay, because your manager expects you to generate the test coverage report and you have to just showcase. See, anyway here we can see all test cases are succeeded, but what is that test coverage report? I tell you. So unit testing is different. Unit testing means what? You have two classes. I mean two, you have two components are there. You have two components are there, each component having five methods are there or functions. So two components, five methods are there. So total how many? 10 methods. Okay, total 10 methods. So two components, each having five methods, total 10 methods are there. So what is the meaning of test coverage? Test coverage is, so you write some test cases, right? So some people write only test cases for only just five methods. Remaining five methods, maybe your application may break because of those methods. So you have to write test cases for that as well. So the test coverage report will report you what are all the methods has covered under test case. Okay. So if you cover all 10 methods in the test case, if you tested all the 10 methods, then this will give you 100% result. Okay, so if you test only five methods you return on test cases, 50% result will come. Okay, so maximum you have to reach up to 80% of test coverage for your project. Okay, so let me generate some test coverage report. So some command will be there actually. Once again, find out how much code you tested. Yeah, test the coverage report, code coverage. Yeah, you can do this command ng test normally to generate to make this, right? So along with that you do no watch hyphen code coverage. So it will generate a coverage, code coverage. And where is that code coverage goes to be is, see here, I think in karma configuration, uh, karma configuration, see they written something. Okay, coverage Istanbul reporter. So for to generate the test coverage, we use I mean internally it is using the Istanbul one third-party module. So it will generate in the what coverage folder our application name. In that you get this thing LCVOV only reports, and with some HTML report will be generated. Okay, let's see how it generates. So command will be this one. So copy this command. Let's see how much we covered test cases for our components. Copy this. I go here. Let me just uh, control C. This is old one. Okay, let's say paste it. Enter. Ng test no watch code coverage. So it will generate a code coverage report, because even client asks how much code got covered in test cases, because they want to exactly verify the functionality of your application. So you must show them the code coverage report. Code coverage, nothing but the test coverage report. Mm, still building. Okay, so succeeded. Code coverage report succeeded. 20 test cases all succeeded. And statements. See how many statements, how much statements coverage is. 93% statements covered. Two statements was not tested out of 29, and out of two branches, one branch tested. Out of 12 functions, 10 function tested. Out of 25 lines, 23 lines tested. Okay, you want to see the exact. This is just command line. Okay, if you close the command, it goes away. But still, you get the actual HTML file for this complete story. Where you can get that is, see, it got generated one coverage folder. Yeah, in the coverage folder, see first tab. In the first tab, there will be one HTML generated, index.html. Yeah, let me open this. Let me open this on the browser. This is one static HTML. See, this is your test coverage report of your application. Okay, it runs on 63342. First tab, test coverage report. See, in this, yeah, product item, everything is covered. Users half covered, and Jasmine testing, maybe this its own. Oh, Jasmine testing also ours only, man. The Jasmine testing is our basic functionality. No, you can click on that and you can check each file. So what is the functionality? Every functionality we tested 100% for basic things. Okay, back, and here you can check also. So which was not covered. So in users, if I click on, see, users component I have commented, right? I have not tested this. So it says that is not being tested. Okay, the service was tested properly. Okay, next product item, everything is tested successfully, 100%. Okay, so this is your test coverage report of Angular. Okay, so that's all about test coverage I want to cover. And so let's move on to another module now. What is that is, so till now we are using Angular with Bootstrap. Okay, so we are developing every front-end application using the Bootstrap UI. Okay, Bootstrap framework and Bootstrap library. But it's not like everyone uses Bootstrap on their projects. They may use different libraries as well. If you know Bootstrap, you can configure any other library in a just easy way. But still, we have to understand how to make an Angular application with some other like a few other UI libraries. So Angular concepts and all everything same. Okay, so data binding, form binding, getting data. I mean, services creation, calling the external API, component interaction. Everything is common. Okay, but the UI, the how you present the data is background everything Angular only. Okay, how you present the data, this table design and this fonts, colors, and all this. Instead of Bootstrap, they use few other things. So as per our course uh, syllabus, we are going to discuss Prime NG. This is from Prime Faces. Okay, and one more we have to discuss is Angular Material. Angular Material. Okay, and we have few other also. People are using something called some material UI. I mean, not material. Material UI is for React, right? Yeah, people are also uses some few other CSS libraries like Tailwind CSS, Tailwind CSS. They use something called Jerb Foundation, and some people uses plain CSS also, like vanilla CSS. Okay, to make the UI. Okay, fine. So let's see. We are not going to discuss all this. Prime NG we'll see now, and later we'll see the Angular material. So Prime NG. So Prime NG, if you close all this, not required. Okay, if you go to Google, let me stop the server for all this. This is not required. Exit. Stop it. Prototype component, something, click event. This was old man. Just ignore. Okay. Now, if I say Prime NG, this is the one primefaces.org. So this people has given a ultimate library for supporting of Angular. See, Angular, we can say Prime NG. This is the symbol. And for React, we have it Prime React. This we can with this framework we'll discuss in React class. This is for Vue.js. Okay, and this is for Java. The people who are using backend Java, right? For those people, UI library is this one. Okay, this is specifically designed for Angular. Okay, and this is for JSPs and all. Okay, fine. Let's start with this, and you can see the nice components also first. Before I go there, if you can go to the components. Yeah, there are 20 million downloads. Okay. Components will be listed in a different format. So form components like automatic, autocomplete, calendar, checkboxes. Nice checkboxes options will be there. If you click on checkbox, yeah, see this is the checkbox. They given source code also. If you don't worry about how to implement this and all, they given source code. See documentation, how to import the things and source. If you click on source, complete source code, you get ng model, how to bind. Okay, everything is given for you. Just you can learn by yourself the whole setup. I'll just give you a few examples. But password box button, yeah, we have few set of buttons like basic icon button severities, like same bootstrap kind of buttons. Okay, icon specific buttons, mostly we use this for apps. Okay, mobile view. Okay, like many other, like data chat, Google Map also is there. Yeah, Google Map also there, that's called Gmap. So they have inbuilt Google Maps API, so map module, Gmap module, but this is was not there in Bootstrap. Okay, so a lot of many things are there apart from Bootstrap. Okay, you can scroll it and source code you can check how it is implemented. You have to just give longitude and latitude. Okay, so like this we have a nice table. Okay, organization chat. Organization chat means yeah, this one, this type of thing you can see in a company, right? Yeah, your CEO under, so you can see the complete organization chart by your designation. So that you can generate, and panels, accordion, cards, uh, some splitter, score panel, and many things, man. You can just check once you have some time. Okay. Fine. First of all, you see nice carousel, avatar, captcha also there. Progress bar is there. A lot of things. Don't worry. Very soon I'm going to launch a dedicated course on this Prime NG on my YouTube channel. Okay, dedicated course on Prime NG. We see few examples, but complete. If you want, I want to cover all the things 100% components I want to cover in my tutorial. I have a plan for this year, so definitely I'll do that. Okay. So fine. Now, first of all, how you create the setup is important, right? So Bootstrap configuration, right? So how to configure Prime NG? Prime NG, how to configure is if you click on getting started, they'll give you a video tutorial how to getting started. Anyway, I'll be teaching you. Yeah, these are the third-party modules you have to install. One is Prime NG and Prime Icons, two things, and you can import whichever the component you want to use. You can import that component to your application, and you can straight away using it. And what css files you'll add? Normally for Bootstrap we add some css. No, what css we add? If you can go to our you know where we added css configuration in angular.json. In angular.json, somewhere here, see, bootstrap.css mdb. Yeah, instead of this one we have to configure these style.css, prime.css, theme, and this one, main.css. And also there are a lot of themes available, like a bootstrap light theme, material design theme. Like these many themes are there, you can just add any one of these css. This guy is using this one, saga blue theme. Okay, you can also use any of this. See, this is the saga blue theme. Okay, you can have an option of selecting all these themes. Okay, if you go to actually settings, they'll tell you, see, these are themes, blue, purple, material design, like these themes you can select. Okay, fine. Fine, first let's create a setup. How you create? Can we do one thing? This is over now. Let me take the src folder and Angular and package.js and copy. Let me go to uh, evening batch, unit testing. I replace this because this is existing same only, na? This was app components. Same story. I'll replace here. These I'll delete. I paste it. Okay, this is the current unit testing examples. Okay, I'll be giving that. Now I have to create a fresh project because this been completely, mess up with testing logic and bootstrap setup. Everything is there. Okay, let's create a fresh application and we'll do from scratch. Okay, so fresh application. First of all, let's create application and take a 5 minutes break, and then we'll see the remaining setup. Okay, so how to create a fresh application? I go to this folder. Yeah, here I create a fresh application using Prime NG. Okay, let me copy this. Go to command line, paste it, enter. Array, cd space. Okay, so in the evening batch, I create a fresh Angular project. You know how to create Angular project, right? Ng new app name. App name is okay, Prime Angular hyphen module. Okay, this is my name of the module. So copy this, paste it, enter. Because now Angular 11 is there now, so we'll do the example on Angular 11 with this setup. So it will ask few questions actually. One is okay, you want to stick a type checking? No. Do you want to add Angular routing? Routing, anyway, I'm not teaching routing example. Only few events binding examples I teach. Why and CSS, yes. Okay, so it will be creating this one. So I think it will take some time, right? We know it'll take not some time, much time, around 3 or 4 minutes it'll take. Okay, so let's take a break for 5 minutes until it's created, and I'll be back once it is created, and then we'll start working on this prime angular. Okay, so relax. Okay, fine. So, so it's been created. Let me load this project. Exit. Okay, so go here, refresh. Um, Prime Angular module. Copy this. So file, open, paste. Okay, okay. Okay. So yeah, first of all, yeah, what are all configurations required here is, if you go here, just close this is not required. Getting started, yeah, these two you have to install separately. Just like MD Bootstrap we install, no? Like that. Just copy this, go here, fix this. Go to terminal. Fresh project no, so it will take some time for indexing. Still indexing. Yeah, paste it. npm install prime ng save, enter. So this will install the package and along with prime icons. So they're not using a font awesome icon, they are using their own icons. Uh, Let me add that as well. Copy. You can also use font awesome icons as well if you wish. That depends for every project. Enter. So for Bootstrap, mostly font awesome icon to use. PrimeNG they use their own icons, and Angular Material also their own like material icons is there from Angular itself. Okay, because Angular Material is given by the Angular people, so they are using their own material icons. Okay, and PrimeNG they are using their own icons. Okay, for Bootstrap we use font awesome.
सर प्राइम एनजी एंड बूटस्ट्रैप दोनों यूज कर सकते क्या एक साथ?
दोनों एक साथ नो यूज कर सकते बट अलग दिखता ना completely different framework. Actually, Bootstrap for same purpose. PrimeNG से for same purpose. Okay, okay, understood. Okay, जो important things है ना उसको I mean the thing which is not there in the Bootstrap, so you want to use this with a PrimeNG. Yeah, of course you can use just simple PrimeNG, but maybe some conflicts, no conflicts because I tell you. No conflicts you can use because their own modules is there, and even for buttons they give their own classes. Generally, what I observe is if you know Bootstrap, the learning PrimeNG Angular Material that is easy because in Bootstrap we have concepts, right? Grid system is there, cards is there, uh, like cards, input controllers and all. So grid system, if you see, generally what type of class you give, call MD5, call MD6 like that. What this person made is they give an extra is call, P call MD5 or P call 5 like that. P is their own class name. Okay, anything start with P is a prime ng. Okay, so that way. So generally we write a class name called dot card, right? So this guy given P hyphen card, okay, and P hyphen card body and few other. Okay, you can easily understand the classes also. Okay, you can use. Now yeah, it's been installed. The next one will be where I have uh, this one prime icons. Let me add it. So here CLS space enter. Okay, so that is also installed. So you need to configure not these modules as per the module what we create we'll use it. So style CSS we have to add. Copy this. So where you need to add this is in your same angular.json file. So let me go to the angular.json file. Okay, see here in the styles configuration, let's add here this one. One more is Saga theme. I'm using Saga theme. If you want, you can select any theme from here. Saga theme. One more is this one, prime ng min.css. This is actual CSS of prime ng. Okay, done. Any customized styles you can write in style.css. Okay, no scripts required, no JavaScript files required. Generally Bootstrap we write, but here not required. And next, Ripple, some animation library they are giving for such as components, buttons. Buttons actually some animation they'll apply. Animation means simple. When you click on the button, some glowing around the button. Okay, so that type of things. If you want to add, yes, I want to add. So what you do is simply in your app component, you need to add an extra library, and you can add that on ng init. Okay, I'll tell you in the app component. Okay, in the app component. Okay, src in the app component.ts file. Yeah, here you inject this can import it. I can write the import. I guess I'll come import. What happened? Import prime ng config. Yes, this one. This you have to configure like this constructor and something. Anyway, I don't use this title in HTML. Oh, yeah, okay, okay. Once you create a basic Angular projects, you get the default setup, na app working some defaults. I don't need anything of this HTML. It's okay, and title also I don't need. I'll just make here. Okay, and something wrong. It implements ng on it. Sorry, on init. Every component you have it right. This must be imported from Angular core library. Okay, why error? What is this error? Not ng, no? On init only, no? Not uppercase, lowercase. Huh? We generally generate from commands. So maybe he will TS-lint issue. Generally component ng on init only, no? Uppercase. Okay, this will be on init from there. Okay, yeah, maybe the TS-lint issue. So TypeScript configuration, yes, correct. I go to tsconfig.json file. No, tslint.json file. Anything we have to check. Max length to console empty. Oh, too many things. Tsconfig. Comparison. Declaration. Import helper. Everything is correct. Yeah. Source map. Experimental decorator. Can I make them false? Import helper should come. You have to read the properly. TS-lint expected call signature ng on it to have typed F. Call signature one space. Oh, can I disable my TS lint here? For call signature, you have to give one space. Some nonsense configuration. 1 minute. Go to where we disable editor, inspections, TypeScript, TypeScript.
Sir, JavaScript and TypeScript both in one line.
Oh, okay, correct. So यहाँ पे where is my like my script? Lint is not there. TS lint. Okay, let's say TS lint. Just disable that. Apply. Okay, now it's gone. Okay, super. This you have to disable the TS lint, but maybe this is the 2020 version of WebStorm, na? So they give a different location. You just have to find that out. Okay, fine. So I have disabled that, and somewhere I changed to false. Make it true. This is not the. No need to worry about this configuration. Don't change anything here. Okay, so no error. That's fine. Yeah, very stop. This is fine. Configured. Next, animations. They're also using some animations along with Angular. Oh, this one, npm install Angular animations, and you can add that here. Okay, we'll add that as well. Copy this. Go to paste it, enter. And then you need to configure Angular animations module in the app module, your app module. Okay, installed. Now go to app module.ts file. You need to add browser animation module. Can I just simply grab this off? Here, browser module already there. Browser module is there. Animation module you need to add to the imports. Angular animations. What was the name? Browser animation module. Okay, fine. So anything else? CLI integration. Angular CLI, it will add the dependency. Okay, no issue. Prime ng 11.0 something. You can check in the package.json. Prime ng is there or not? Yeah, Prime ng is there. Prime icons also there. Okay, we have it. Styles configuration we already done, right? In the angular.json file, we need to add this. Yeah, we already made this. Okay, that's all. That's it all. Okay, now import PrimeNG components and quick start here. Okay, PrimeNG components. Let's start with the PrimeNG components. First of all, let me start this Angular application. We have not created any component now. Only the app component we have, and that nothing is there. Let's add h1. Welcome to PrimeNG. Okay, so let's start. But one thing we have to do is before you start, it's a fresh project, right? So Angular start ng -o to open a browser automatically, right? This you know. Okay, because we're gonna write npm start and just so -o. Save it. Go back here. Npm start. You want Google privacy? Yes, yes, enter. So first time, no, it will take some time. So it's loading all the modules, core, prime ng. Okay, one more setup I want to tell you. What is that is, see here, generally if you configure Bootstrap, right? Bootstrap means once you configure the CSS, you can straight away use the button with the classes. But here in PrimeNG and even Angular Material also, for every thing, I mean every component, if you want to use in the application, for every component, there is specific module is there. So just like well, if you want to write a HTTP client, right? For example, if you are using HTTP client from your Angular, you will import HTTP client module. If you do some forms binding, you import forms module component. Just like that, for every component like calendar, input mask, for every other component you see here, right? Calendar, autocomplete, every component you have to import like this. Okay, for button also you have a button module to import. Like these many import statements you have to write. These many import statements you have to write for every component you use. Okay, mostly. So it means you need to import an app module. You need to write app import statement for buttons component, and then only you can use the button module. I mean button component like that. So yeah, it's been started, but this we don't like, no. This font I don't like. What is this? I think in style.css, what we have? Yeah, in style.css, no styles. Okay, I'll add my own styles. Maybe these guys are not using this any specific style sheet. Let me add my own font. So let me go to Google Fonts. Let me add Google Fonts. The same Ubuntu font will add. Google Fonts. Go to Fonts. Yeah, I'll select Ubuntu. Here you can type Ubuntu font. Yeah, this one I'll add for all my examples. Styles, I select the light one. Select this. So how to add, right? You need to add this in the index.html. Go to the index.html. Where is that? Here. You can paste that off here. Okay. And once it is done, you can use the font family in the style.css. Go to style.css for the whole body. I'll add font family, this guy. Okay. If you add it, you get dashboard. This is very new to me also. I never used this library in my company, but maybe going forward I'll start using it. But we can't make the whole dashboard here. Actually, you can go to themes, man. You can do one thing. You can go to themes. They give you some few examples also. Templates are there. So, okay, few templates they given. Admin templates. This type of templates you have to make actually yourself. So you can download and you can see the source code. It's gone somewhere. 1 minute. Actually, if you want admin theme and all, you can go to themes, and here you can check a lot of themes are there. Some are free also. You can select the not sorry not themes, the templates. You can see some templates. In company, this type of applications will be there. This type of you can see live demo and or this purchase one. Free also will be there. You can search online. Okay, we are going somewhere. Yeah, where I am. App module. Okay, styles configured, na? Check it out. Okay, I got the style. Okay. Now let's add some component with the data binding. I want to bind something. So here, first I want to use the very basic one is a button component. Everyone start with the button component. So here for buttons, you can select this button. So for button, these many buttons are there. These many different varieties of buttons are there with icons and all, severity and all. So for this buttons, if you want to add, if you just come down, they'll tell you documentation. Everything you just have to follow documentation only. See, import a buttons module. The buttons module you have to import in your app module. If you just want to use this buttons, you need to add this module. If you want to use something called input text boxes and all, we have to use input text module. If you are using input number, just a number box, you have to use input number module. As I said, every component one module you have to import. Okay, so if you are using almost every component, so these many import statements, like there are some around 50 plus will be there. Okay, so 50 plus import statements only for prime ng will be there. Instead, actually, you can do one thing. You can create your own module, and inside of that, you can import. Okay, optimization. I tell you, at least now we'll create a button by using this existing setup. Import the button module. You just simply go to app module. Here, I'll say import uh, button module from primeng/button. You can add that to the import statements somewhere here. Button module. What happened? It's not an Angular module. How come? Something weird. Huh? Button module. If not Angular module, then why they made for NG? Maybe my compiler has not detected. See, it's still compiling. See, it's still compiling the prime ng specific things. Okay, okay. It's been not done earlier. So it is now compiling a few more things. So maybe it will come now. Uh, it's still showing the error. Do one thing. First time you added that module of ng, right? Prime. Do one thing. Restart once. It's not restart for every component. Maybe the prime modules has not been loaded properly. So we'll do one time restart. Okay, now it's been compiled successful. So no issue now, see. And also please check your app module. No issue for button module. Now happy. Okay, so once it is done, you can add a button here. So let me add to app component only. So how you add a button? Simple, you have to follow the documentation. See, these many buttons are there. But if you want to see the source code of each of this, there is a source. To click on the source, they'll give you everything. Basic, 3 buttons. Icon, 3 buttons. CVRT, these buttons. Same in output is here. Basic icon CVRT. You can just learn like this. So let me grab this basic buttons. I'll keep it here. Okay. So they are using their own tag name P button. Instead of normal button tag, they're using P button, their own. And their own attributes as well, label, disable, and all, and style classes. Check it out. You get the buttons. Okay. And if you want to get some severities on buttons, these are the severities are there. Okay. See, ripple module we added now. That is this one, ripple. Okay, see this animation is coming now when you click on the button, that is ripple. But each button there is no space, huh? But here this guy give a nice space over there. We didn't get the space. Uh, I think you need to add some margin. Oh, every button if you add a margin, that looks good. Can I do one thing? Go to style.css. For each button, I'll add margin top, right, bottom, left, top 0, right 5 pixels, bottom, top, right, bottom, left 5 pixels. Important. So if I add, okay, some space has come. That's fine. Okay, nice. So buttons has come, and you want this rounded buttons or raised button. Raised button means slight box shadow has come. See, the slight box shadow. So raised buttons, how you make is here. Extra, you have to give the class name button raised. I'll show you. Copy this. So go to here. I paste raised buttons. Extra, you have a class called button raised. Button secondary is a class name to color. Raised extra class name, just like same only. Raised extra. So if you give that, slight box shadow will come. See this one. Slight box shadow is there. Okay, raised buttons. And let's take something called rounded buttons. Copy this. Go here. And these buttons are coming as per my theme. I'm using Saga Blue theme. That's why buttons are these colors. Saga Blue theme, right? In Angular.json, we are using Saga Blue theme. You can choose any of the theme. So those colors also get changed according to theme slightly. Okay. So I'm just copy pasting. Huh? Yeah, wait, I'll tell you. Paste it. Check it out. Okay. So text buttons. Text buttons. Okay, fine. Can we get some icon buttons because we have added icons also, na? Yeah, this rounded icon button. Where is it? Rounded icon buttons. Yeah, this one. You have icons. We have added na the third party module. Maybe it's supposed to come. Icon buttons. How you add icon attribute pie check. See, generally for icon, what to use? FA circle like font awesome. They are using their own inbuilt. So PI. We use FA space FA, right? So PI space PI prime angular. So these are the names times heart bill user search. So you get the icons as well. Nice icons has come with the button colors and icons. No text, only icon will be there. Okay, fine. This is how you configure Prime NG for Angular, and don't worry, this is the only class for Prime NG. We do some few good examples also with data binding forms and all. We'll see. Okay, yeah. So better you do one thing. You try to configure and try to uh, try to check the few other components of Prime NG today, and tomorrow I'll just come up with a few more examples. The actual example, because here we just made some static component, right? So no data handling, no state changes, nothing is there. So let's make some nice design for at least few components we'll develop. Okay, and then we'll see small dashboard. Huh? Okay, I'll try. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, enough for today's class. So let's meet tomorrow and we'll understand some binding examples and forms binding on Prime NG, right? So that's it. Thank you so much, and let's meet tomorrow. Thank you.